Well, it goes to show, if you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust, and she even decided to go after a legend, the legendary Courtney Vandersloot, who, of course, blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season, and she is in the midst of making a comeback. And of course, Angel Reese made some comments that were none too kind to a legend.
Okay, this is wild. Courtney Vandersloot finally broke her silence, and trust me, it wasn't subtle. When a 5-time All-Star and 2-time WNBA champion claps back at Angel Reese, you know this rookie-turned-sophomore drama queen has pushed things way too far. The Chicago Sky locker room isn't just fractured at this point, it's leaking chaos everywhere. So here's the real question. Is Angel Reese burning bridges faster than she can build them? Because let's be real, controversy has followed Reese since her LSU days, and if her brand has been built on stirring the pot, well, that act is starting to wear thin. Why? Because if you're bold enough to go at a legend like Courtney Vandersloot, you better land the punch. Reese's jab? It missed badly. Do you think Reese should be fired by the Chicago Sky? Let us know down in the comments below. Let's go.
At this point, it's over. That whole Sky Barbie thing, that thing is over. Angel Reese is done in Chicago. They're gonna move on. They have to.
And let's not forget who we're talking about here. Courtney Vandersloot isn't some bench warmer you can casually disrespect. She's a 5-time All-Star, a 7-time assist leader, and a 2-time WNBA champion. Her resume is stacked higher than Reese's highlight reels, louder than her sideline antics, and infinitely more meaningful than any Instagram caption. Yet here comes Angel Reese, tossing out comments about Vandersloot's age, her durability, and even questioning whether the Sky should trust her to return at full strength. That's not just shade, that's an open-hand slap at one of the most respected veterans in basketball.
The Chicago Sky teammates of Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins, Rachel Banham, Courtney Vandersloot, 3 ladies which were targeted in that hit piece that Angel Reese slid underneath the table. Yeah, they responded. Not only did they respond, but the Chicago Sky responded as well.
So why even go there? Reese hasn't even finished 2 full seasons as a pro. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, Reese's imaginary rival, because let's be honest, most of this rivalry exists in Reese's head, is already the centerpiece of the Indiana Fever, dragging an entire franchise back into relevance and rewriting WNBA history along the way. Reese, on the other hand, is too busy stirring drama inside her own locker room. Not exactly the leadership formula anyone was hoping for.
We can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, 2-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, oh, dang, oh, damn. It's all right, Courtney. It's all right.
And the kicker? Courtney wasn't asking for handouts. After tearing her ACL, she's been grinding harder than anyone. Intense rehab sessions, grueling workouts, interviews that showed nothing but focus and determination to come back stronger than ever. The last thing she needed was her supposed teammate suggesting to the entire basketball world that she's washed up. But that's exactly what Angel Reese did. And she didn't just say it behind closed doors. She said it publicly in an interview. That's the part that makes veterans lose respect instantly. Locker room venting happens everywhere, sure. But dragging a teammate's name through the mud on camera? That's how you torch trust in record time.
But can Sky Nation expect to see you back here next year?
Oh, absolutely. You know, contrary to what people say or think, my age is absolutely not a factor. I am coming back. I'm going to come back better than ever because that's what I've done. I put myself in a position to come back and compete even at this age.
Better than ever. Thank you so much, Sloot.
Naturally, Vandersloot didn't let it slide. When asked about her future, she didn't hesitate. Point blank, contrary to what people say or think, my age is not a factor. I'm coming back better than ever, boom. That's a direct counterpunch aimed squarely at Reese. No coded subtweets, no veiled references, just a veteran clapping back with facts. She's not done, she's not slowing down, and she's not letting some sophomore hothead write her obituary. Reese wanted smoke, but Vandersloot reminded her who really sets the standard.
Angel Reese will be lucky if she has a third of the career that Courtney Vandersloot has had. I don't think it was Kennedy Carter that blew that locker room up. I think it was Angel Reese. There, I said it out loud. I think it was continuous drama.
Step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Vandersloot's legacy is already cemented. She's done the work, earned the rings, and earned the respect of her peers. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is still a project, trying to find her place, but instead of focusing on her growth, she's swinging wildly at legends whose accomplishments she hasn't even come close to sniffing. Vandersloot has more championships than Reese has playoff appearances. That's not even hyperbole. That's reality.
You can tell it's just some turmoil going on in Chicago right now. And it kind of brings up the question, like, what is going to happen with Angel Reese at this point? I think she's done playing.
And then you glance at Caitlin Clark because whether Reese likes it or not, the comparison always follows. Clark, just like Reese, has dealt with physical fouls, targeting, and non-stop media attention. The difference? Clark doesn't throw teammates under the bus. She doesn't shade veterans. She takes the hits, gets back up, and keeps moving Indiana forward. That's the mark of a franchise cornerstone. That's why fans love her. That's why sponsors flock to her. Reese may have the marketing hype machine on social media, but Clark has the leadership gene you can't fake. But back to Reese, because the suspension debacle is just the cherry on top. A half-game suspension? That's not discipline, that's comedy. The Sky basically said, hey, we'll punish her for 20 minutes and hope she learns her lesson. Nobody respects that. Not the fans, not the media, not other players. Courtney's response didn't just check Reese, it exposed the Sky's lack of control. Vandersloot's words reminded everyone what professionalism looks like: grit, accountability, and focus. Meanwhile, Reese looks like she's running her mouth faster than her game is developing. The contrast is glaring.
In the beginning of the season, you was missing mad layups. You was shooting like 27% on layups. I saw Ariel Atkins at the podium holding you down. I didn't see none of your teammates going in the media blasting your ass for not being able to make a damn layup. We haven't seen none of your teammates come out and flame you for how you was missing layups back to back to back to back to back. You had like 8 straight games where these dudes won hundreds of thousands of dollars betting that you would miss your first shot. None of your teammates came out and embarrassed you publicly. They held you down and supported you.
And of course, Reese's fan base didn't help. Her online supporters went nuclear, hurling insults at Vandersloot, trashing her career, and pretending like rings and accolades don't matter. It was nasty, it was childish, and it reflected back on Reese. Because whether she admits it or not, a player's fan base becomes part of their brand. Caitlin Clark's fans? They build her up, celebrate her, and spread the word about her greatness. Reese's fans? They drag legends down and cry conspiracy theories. That speaks volumes. The beauty of Vandersloot's clapback was in the delivery. She didn't rant, she didn't scream, and she didn't need a Twitter thread to prove her worth. Her career already does the talking. All she had to do was calmly state the truth. She's not done, she's not old, and she's coming back stronger than before. Meanwhile, Reese just looks like she created drama for no reason, dragging her own locker room morale down in the process.
I would be highly surprised if Angel Reese is on the Chicago Sky's roster come the start of the 2026 or the 2027 season. The Chicago Sky, they might be saying to themselves, Angel Reese just isn't worth the headache that she is causing. Great rebounder. As for everything else, she's not worth the headache that she's causing.
And here's the delicious irony. Reese keeps talking about wanting better teammates, wanting championships, wanting to elevate Chicago. But tell me, what elite free agent is going to sign with a team where the supposed star publicly disrespects veterans? Free agents talk. Agents talk. Everyone in the league notices this kind of dysfunction. Why would anyone walk into a circus tent willingly? Let's not let the Chicago Sky front office off the hook either. They let this fire burn unchecked. That half-game suspension was laughable. Either you stand by your player or you hold her fully accountable. Trying to do both made them look weak. The front office looks spineless, the coach looks powerless, and the whole team looks like it's spiraling. Throw Angel Reese's antics into that mix, and congratulations. You've got the perfect recipe for a wasted season.
It says here, Tyler Marsh called it a top-down organizational decision, declined to share which comments were viewed as detrimental. Atkins implied the team supported the decision. Ownership handled it how they see fit. She told the Sun-Times, a shooter on Friday, they have full support from our team.
And while we're being blunt, let's just say it. Angel Reese is no Caitlin Clark. Not in leadership, not in production, and not in how she represents herself or her team. Clark has already cemented herself as the face of a franchise, the focal point of the WNBA's growth, and a proven leader under pressure. Reese, meanwhile, is still trying to figure out how to avoid alienating her teammates before her second season even wraps up. The constant comparison only makes Reese look worse, because the gulf between them is growing by the day.
Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game on September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we are moving forward as a team.
The WNBA is an unforgiving league. If the drama you bring to the table outweighs what you produce on the court, franchises won't hesitate to move on. And right now, Reese is walking that tightrope, and she's wobbling. Her suspension didn't just draw attention, it raised a much bigger question. Does the Chicago Sky actually know what it's doing with her? A half-game suspension isn't discipline, it's window dressing. That's the kind of punishment you hand out in high school, not in the pros. It tells everyone the Sky are stuck between two bad options. They want Reese on the floor because she sells tickets, but they need to look like they're doing something because the locker room is a powder keg. That's not leadership. That's cowardice disguised as accountability.
Angel Reese facing her first bit of accountability here in the WNBA. Unapologetically, Angel, the Chicago Sky don't care about any of that right now. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about go out and say what you want. Be unapologetic. They have no time for that. They have a business to run. They have teammates that they care about, players on the roster that they're looking for. You know what? We got to send a message. This isn't cool to Vandersloot. This isn't cool to Banham. This isn't cool to Haley Van Lith. We got to show the other players on the roster we have your back as well.
Courtney Vandersloot, on the other hand, has never had to play that game. Her career is the definition of consistency, accountability, and professionalism. 7 assist titles don't happen by accident. 2 championships don't fall into your lap. They're earned with relentless work, unshakable discipline, and the respect of teammates. When Vandersloot tore her ACL, she didn't lash out, point fingers, or search for excuses. She put her head down, committed to rehab, and let her determination speak louder than words. Reese could learn volumes from that example, if she were humble enough to listen. But that's the issue. Reese doesn't appear interested in listening. She looks more concerned with controlling the narrative, through her comments to the media, through the online battles waged by her fan base, or through her antics during games. It's all about Angel Reese, the brand, rather than Angel Reese, the player. And when you're only in your second season with 0 playoff credentials to your name, that kind of imbalance looks bad. Really bad.
It is looking spooky in Chicago. Instead, Reese says she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Berman or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading them to the leading the playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky roster with WNBA championship experience. We are aware of it, Marsh stated. We are addressing it.
Contrast that with Caitlin Clark again. Clark has absorbed more punishment than any player in recent memory. She's been fouled hard, targeted relentlessly, and nitpicked by critics and even former players. But through it all, she's focused on her game and her team. Clark understands something Reese doesn't. Leadership isn't about headlines or Instagram likes. It's about resilience. It's about how you respond to adversity when everyone's watching. That's why Clark's reputation keeps growing while Reese's keeps sinking. Now let's get into Reese's comment about Courtney Vandersloot being too old. That wasn't just careless, it was flat out disrespectful. Vandersloot's value is proven. Her vision, experience, and playmaking are things no younger player can replicate. To dismiss that outright doesn't make Reese look bold, it makes her look immature and uninformed. This isn't honesty, it's arrogance dressed up as straight talk.
It looked like it's happening. Angel Reese is asking out of Chicago already.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums to play with.
And think about the message this sends across the league. If you're a veteran considering Chicago as a landing spot and you hear their young star dismiss older players publicly, why would you ever sign there? The trust is gone before you even walk through the door. Winning in professional sports requires trust, and Reese is corroding that trust faster than the Sky can rebuild it. Vandersloot's clapback worked so well precisely because it was calm, confident, and grounded in reality. Everyone knows she's earned the right to speak. Angel Reese hasn't. When Vandersloot says she'll return stronger, people believe her. When Reese talks about the team needing better players, fans and media roll their eyes. That's the credibility gap. And it's massive. The reaction from fans drives the point home. Vandersloot's supporters admire her, respect her, and want her to succeed. Reese's online army? They attack anyone who dares criticize her, dragging the conversation into the gutter with cheap insults and personal attacks. Like it or not, a fan base reflects the image of the player. Clark's supporters amplify her greatness, while Reese's defenders tear others down. That says it all.
Now, how many players are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about Courtney Vandersloot? Are going to listen to what Angel Reese had to say about her current teammates? How many players are going to say, oh yeah, I want to play with that player who has no problem throwing me under the bus with 3 games to go. I want to play with that. Maybe not many.
The Draymond Green comparison? Honestly, it fits. Reese racks up technical fouls, thrives on confrontation, and constantly finds herself in the middle of drama. The difference? Draymond has 4 NBA championships to justify the chaos. Reese has nothing close to that. Without the wins, the antics don't look like passion. They look like immaturity. Now, zoom out to the bigger picture. The WNBA itself. The league is finally getting national attention, growing its audience, and pulling bigger crowds. And the centerpiece of that surge is Caitlin Clark. She's the magnet. Reese benefits from that spotlight, but instead of using it to elevate herself and her team, she generates the wrong headlines. At a time when the league needs stability and professionalism, she's delivering distraction and controversy.
Angel Reese, oh damn, has been assessed with 8 technical fouls, and she will be suspended for Friday game unless it is rescinded. And I'm telling you right now, look, he said it best, her attitude. That mug ain't getting rescinded. Angel Reese has struck out again.
That's why Vandersloot's response was so sharp. She didn't need to say anything, but she chose to. She made it clear she wasn't going to let Reese or anyone else rewrite her narrative. By calmly affirming her value, she reminded the league that veterans still matter, that leadership still matters, and that respect has to be earned. Reese may think she's building her brand by speaking out, but in reality, she's alienating teammates, free agents, and maybe even the league itself. If she keeps this up, her career could easily follow the same path as other potential stars who bounced from team to team before fading out completely. The Caitlin Clark comparison seals it. Both Clark and Reese are in their second year. But Clark is viewed as the future of the WNBA, a player who can carry a franchise and bring fans into arenas. Reese is seen as a polarizing figure who creates headlines for the wrong reasons. Both are talented, but only one is building long-term credibility. So Chicago has a decision to make. Do they continue enabling Reese, hoping she grows up, or do they cut their losses and move her before her reputation tanks completely? Vandersloot's comments highlight the stakes perfectly. If Reese can't respect legends like Courtney Vandersloot, why should anyone believe she'll respect the game, the league, or even her own teammates? That's why this saga matters. It's not just about one suspension or one careless remark. It's about the culture of a locker room, the direction of a franchise, and the trajectory of a player who could either become a cornerstone or a cautionary tale. Vandersloot didn't just clap back, she laid down a line in the sand. Respect isn't optional. Reese thought she was speaking truth, but all she did was expose her immaturity. Do you think Reese should be fired by the Chicago Sky? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.